Hello, it's me, Jack-a-Lopium. Welcome along. We're gonna be taking a look at Banner of the Maid, right? It's a few years old, but what exactly is it? It's a strategy RPG, an SRPG. It's developed by Azure Studios, and it's published by Azure. I believe it's a Chinese game, but don't hold me to it. It could come from anywhere. Well, in Asia, I suppose. Yeah, this is from actually 2019. It's another one of these games that I bought with the intention of doing like a review and a playthrough on the old channel, but just never got around to it. And in my kind of, I'm trying to like play a bunch of like older games from my back catalogue, which I've just never given a go. I bought it, then put it on the back burner for whatever reason, and just never played it. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to be interested. I don't know if anyone cares about a game from 2019, but there you go. This game has a really interesting setting. It's like a kind of semi-fictional French Revolution. You know, there's great looking pixel graphics, all kinds of stuff. Let's choose a new game. Basically, I mean, I have played this before. I played up to chapter 3, but it was in 2019 and I flipping can't remember a thing. So take this as a blind playthrough. It is the adventures of Josephine Bonaparte. You can save only once in a battle, or are we gonna just save the game anytime? Start the game with a small amount of funds. Start the game with no extra funds. Or story mode. Okay. Let's just go for officer mode. I don't think there's too much change between the two. Just like change when you can save. The up arrow icon indicates that this unit is strengthened. Awesome. Okay, as a Flame Studio. Yeah, gorgeous. Look at that pixel art. It's lovely. I love the French uniforms. Also gorgeous. Charge! Yeah, so this is like Uchronic French Revolution. That's pretty interesting. There's some kind of alternate take. There's apparently like fantasy elements. And of course, like, like a female Napoleon. I did see an advert for the movie. I think it's called Napoleon. No, it's either called Napoleon or Bonaparte, from everybody's favourite Alien director, Ridley Scott. Okay, so summer 1791, Varennes, France.
Huh?
Varennes is not far ahead. Are you sure that the king will be here? Yep, okay. I can only hope that it's true, otherwise the King of France might already be in the territory of another country. Be vigilant, Marquis de Lafayette. If we don't bring the king back, the whole country will shake tomorrow. France can't afford this kind of blow during such a crucial moment. So we'll initially use the controller, and if it's not responsive, we'll have to switch to mouse and keyboard. I do try and use the controller if possible. What is the king thinking? Can't he just stay put in the palace. So here we go. So the white-haired politician is Comte de Mirabeau. Having just recovered from a serious illness, you should stay in Paris and rest. Yeah, Mirabeau. It was I who provided the intelligence. Of course, I have the responsibility to accompany you, and the troops there, I don't think they're the Garde Nationale. Yeah, is that before or after, like, Napoleon Bonaparte raised his 1,000,000-man grand army? I have no idea. It's the army of the royalists. They must be here to pick up the king. Oh no, it wouldn't be, would it? Because this is still before Napoleon's conquest, right? See, I'm terrible at history. Then I'm counting on you, says Mirabeau. I'm not experienced in battlefield, commanding or leading charges. Our actions tonight will change the face of France. Marquis de Lafayette, please be sure to find the king and all of his entourage. Don't worry, says Lafayette. You'd better take the time and think about how to persuade the king. Okay, so there is a lady who's like a bit of a, you know, some kind of milkmaid, maybe. Anyway, move to the enemy first. Get close to attack. Show no mercy to these traitors. Do it. Do it. Okay, so yeah, everybody seems to be speaking Chinese. Attack! Yeah, here we go. Standard cavalry sword. We have a disadvantage. I don't think I have anything else. So yeah, kind of very. Oh no, he killed one of my guys. So yeah, kind of Final Fantasy Tactics meet Fire Emblem, as people have been saying on the Steams, and also some clever wag called it Romance of the French Revolution, which I thought was pretty good. Oh god, I suck at maneuvering. I'm sure I'll get used to it. Let's wait until this other guy approaches us. Oh, he doesn't. So we can get into the side. I don't know whether we get a bonus. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, these are, like, remember that Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm not a big fan of it, to be perfectly honest. So here we go. The designed areas that you need to reach are marked as yellow grids. Sounds fair to me. There you go. Heroic. What? Sure. What? Like the messenger said, it's the carriage that the king took. I'll leave a searching in the town to you as I stay here to guard the carriage. Please try not to cause a disturbance. I will deal with it. You can rest assured. And here we go. Mirabeau comes back. And there she is. Very pretty. As I expected, it's her who stayed in the carriage. Surely you know what would happen next. Yes, His Majesty is in the town and Marquis de Lafayette will find him soon enough. Please come back to Paris with us. What will happen to our family when we return to Paris? Documents left by His Majesty confirm that he had betrayed the country and the people. You'll be detained as soon as you arrive in Paris. And your children will be taken care of. After all, they're from the bloodline of the royal family. In the current situation, their lives can only be held in the hands of others. I do kind of remember it, but that's probably not a good idea. My kind of muddled recollections from like 4 years ago. Alright, please don't make any unnecessary resistances, Mirabeau. This is the consequence of the royal family's behaviour, and you must take responsibility. She says. Huh? Oh no, she got some magic force fields. Awesome. Sure enough, as predicted by the painting, the blue diamond has responded. Okay.
Oh?
Seems you're the person I'm looking for. What do you mean, says the noble woman. I'm not here for the king, says Mirabeau. What I'm looking for is the ability hidden in you. Anyway, what I'm about to say may be confusing to you, he continues. But please listen to it carefully, then consider it seriously before answering the question. This is not only about you and me, but also about the future of the country. Yelling and commotion can be heard in the distance. Seems that the king has been found. There is not much time. Please listen carefully. That was the most turbulent moment in my life, says Mirabeau. I escaped from the gate of death and my hands hold the key to change the future of the country. That was the legacy that has been passed down for hundreds of years and appeared in many stories and legends. Women who are affected by it are inevitably caught in a torturous fate. I hope this situation won't be one of the many remorses in my life. I hope that they can become the Maid to France that will make the country peaceful and stable. Okay, we're inside the carriage. 5 years later, on the outskirts of Toulon in France. So this is a young girl. So they're saying that the king was kidnapped is false. Yeah, I believe that is our hero or heroine, Josephine Bonaparte. So yeah, anyway, kidnapped false, maybe. If the public knew the truth, the royal family should have been imprisoned or even worse. It's just a story that I heard while drinking, laughs Mirabeau. I'm telling the story because you, my young lady, are too bored on the road. Yeah, to finish my thought from before, you can read the rest of this. I'm sure it's stuff that you can read. And your imagination can probably do a better job at reading it aloud than me. So, yeah, to finish my thought, I'm not a massive fan of Final Fantasy Tactics. I love, obviously, the kind of mise-en-scene, or whatever you want to call it, the kind of lore of Final Fantasy and the art style of Final Fantasy. I'm not a massive fan of the gameplay. It's just too kind of rudimentary. It's too kind of outdated. By now, I mean, it was what, 30 years ago, Final Fantasy Tactics? 35 years ago. Probably older than you know, many people watching, but we've just made so many advances since then. I mean, it doesn't stop loads of people still kind of being influenced by it, you know, games designers, but I don't like them either. Because we have come so far since then. I'm just not a massive fan of kind of, you know, trying to associate nostalgia with something I'm not a big fan. What topic do we want to discuss with Mirabeau? The situation in France, the destination of our carriage. Yeah, here we go. The situation of France. Speaking of that, when I was young, I really couldn't believe a revolution would really happen. 7 years ago, the king summoned the Estates General to solve financial problems. That's right, the clergy of the First Estate, the nobility for the Second Estate, and the commoners for the Third Estate. The Estates General intensified the contradiction between the estates, and finally a revolution took place in Paris. So yeah, this is the backstory, and this is basically the backstory is what happened in real life. But obviously there was a notice there saying that the stories themselves in this work are fictional. There you go, legitimate current assembly. Well, you're quite familiar with the history, says Mirabeau. Then what do you think of the revolution? Viva, I guess. I was in Corsica, says Pauline, 7 years ago, and didn't know too much about Paris. I learned all of it later in the École Militaire. Or Militaire. I'm just an English dude, a British person, so, you know, we didn't learn languages at school. No, that's a joke. I learned Spanish. But in the past few years, although the power of the nobility has been weakened, the royal family stood unaffected. Well, the royal family changed their attitude after that, supported the reform of the assembly, and did a lot of unprecedented things. For example, girls were enrolled in the École Militaire, because of course girls means boys, I guess. That's a policy promoted by the royal family, and they've made good use of the publicity. Pauline, I know this too, but a soldier should not care too much about the political issues. That is what they say, yes. They just go where they're told to go, that's what soldiers like to say. I can see that you don't care about politics, otherwise you would have known me. Really, says Pauline. Never mind, speaking of the military, which topic? Okay, so the destination. Where are we off to? Alright, young lady, have you been transferred to Toulon? There's a war going on there, here, as I know. Wasn't the puppet master called Toulon? Is it Andre Toulon? Is the puppet master? So perhaps we will see some puppets. My older brother is also a soldier and he's serving in Toulon. I'm here to... Well, she wants to take a vacation. Here you go. Mirabeau says no. There's too much domestic rebellions. Too much domestic rebellions. And the wars in neighbouring countries are also ongoing. Alright. People are suffering too much. This war must be ended. However, it's strange that not only the neighbouring countries, Prussia and Austria, are attacking the city, but it's also the British. Since the House of Bourbon is still there, even if they're worried about the impact of the revolution, they shouldn't be rushing to wage a war. Even His Majesty supports the Assembly to engage in war. It's really... here we go. Abnormal, says Mirabeau. Unknown powers. Are you saying like the power of the maids? Asked Pauline. Yeah, power of the maids. Although the king has temporarily won the support of the people, the power of the royal family and the nobility are still weakening. If the revolutionist regime is defeated by foreign troops, they will regain power. Do they even know how many people would die for this? Says Pauline. Too bad. Perhaps I really have chosen the wrong person, says Mirabeau. What? She asks. Yeah, that was kind of a what are they called? Soliloquy. But like a kind of Simpsons soliloquy where they're just off to the side reciting the lines. Glory on the battlefield, defending the country. We joined the army for this purpose, but when we actually stepped into the battlefield, it was a totally different thing. Hundreds of people will either survive or die because of our decisions. Yeah, how can one take up these responsibilities? That I don't know. I'm not military. Yeah, I combine familiar and military. But you get the point. However you see, whether you're of the royal family or the common folks, who can really say if they can dominate their own fate? And according to my... carry on. Stuff about fate. You're the chosen one, Neo. You can change our fate. We're nearing Toulon. Well, it looks like my ride ends here. The person that my brother sent to pick me up should be near. There you go. Carry on. You can read this by myself. I'm going to take a quick break. Your storytelling skills could use some work, says Pauline. Please do hone your speech before we meet next time. This is the first time I've had such an audience, laughs Mirabeau. Okay. After that, she set foot on the battlefield again. That's really weird. Strange bit of verbiage. Talking of the verbiage in the game, there were a few comments I saw on Steam that the game was just a little bit too verbose in terms of its text, so we'll have to see about that. I mean, I tend to just skip. Oh no, there's the Doomsday Whistle. Yeah, I tend to, when I play JRPGs, like off camera, I do tend to kind of skip as much dialogue as I possibly can. I mean, people talk about the stories of JRPGs as like, that's the story? I've no idea. I just X through all of that dialogue. But that's just me. I just wanted to get to the next battle, you know? How come no one has come in? Did I come to the wrong place this morning? But let's, shall we carry on a little bit further? Like a minute or two, maybe? The artillery is very close. We are, it seems, under siege. Okay, we are on normal difficult... No, yeah, we did that, didn't we? Yeah. So here we go. Here's Leclerc. Did that young lady come this way? Could she happen to be Bonaparte's sister? Yeah, this is quite interesting. I actually remember this, like, from 4 years ago. This map. I have to search this entire area. Who's that blockhead yelling on the street? You might as well lead the enemies to us directly. And I'll point it out once we get control back. It's quite interesting. Scattered soldiers. I need to defeat them. So yeah, allies in blue, enemies in red. As per usual, pretty good. There's a chain of advantages against other classes among the various classes of units. Your damage and hit chance against the target will be increased when you are in advantage, decreased when you are in disadvantage. Awesome. Leclerc's chasseur à cheval is light cavalry, which is an advantage, which is an advantage against light infantry, but a disadvantage against heavy cavalry. Oh, light infantry, sorry, I'm a doofus. Leclerc's chasseur is light cavalry, which gives him an advantage against light infantry, but a disadvantage against heavy cav. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is quite interesting. Is it on this map or the next one? But there are like items scattered around the map, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is the next fight. There's like 3 soldiers, 1 like cavalry, and then 1 Pauline, who is an experimental musket unit. So yeah, that's pretty interesting, but we're gonna fight this battle next episode. Yeah. We did it, man. Taking the slight piss. But yeah, join me again next time. That'll be Friday's episode. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Banner of the Maid and or more RPG and strategy gaming in general. Alright, thanks very much. Bye for now.
I didn't say poke, I didn't say jab, I said gouge his eyes. Watch this.